going, everybody?
Hey, what's happening?
What's up, guys? Hey, good to see you.
Good to see you too.
I didn't put my makeup on. Right? Sweet. Thank you all for coming.
Yeah. How's it feel just be obviously just back in Texas, your hometown?
We were talking about on the ride over here, man. It feels like home, and we're contemplating if we should move back to Texas because, you know, once a Texan, always a Texan. I love Hawaii. I love the weather and everything, but this is home, and it always will be home. Yeah.
Obviously, you guys' home turf. You know, flying in just yesterday to Texas, we were telling people we were going to WrestleMania. They didn't know anyone on the current wrestling roster except for you guys. They mentioned the Von Erichs. You know what I mean? So it's a household name here in Texas. How much does it mean to be back here for a show like this over Mania weekend, no less?
Man, it's the biggest honor you can like bestow on somebody. You hear it all the time. It really is humbling. You know, you're just so impressed that people still remember, and just makes you want to pour your guts out for these people. You know, we love them back.
And like our grandfather did, he started the name of the Von Erich, and then, you know, my uncles took that to a big platform, great places, and we want to do the same thing. And when we see this loyal love that only comes from Texans, it's awesome. It's beautiful, and it fuels us. It's completely, God bless Texas, 100%.
When you guys get back here, and say if you have extra downtime, what's like the thing you want to do most when you're in Texas?
Well, it's hard to find rivers in Dallas. We love jumping off stuff and swimming.
Yeah,
or Speed Zone.
Yeah, Speed Zone. Yeah, racing
Those
little
little
drift
go-karts.
track. Yeah, I guess we're kind of like thrill seekers. I guess. It's better than yeah. But yeah, we love anything fun. I guess. But yeah, Lake Dallas is our hometown, so we'll go to Lake Dallas and Denton all the time and see old friends and all that and stuff. But yeah, Texas it's the only place I don't get homesick. I got 2 babies too, so it sounds bad. Don't let my wife see this. I'm zero homesick right now, 0%.
You guys have had an exciting last couple of years in MLW. Anything that you would tell yourself from 3 years ago as far as like, all right, keep this in mind, like any advice that you would bestow upon yourself from 3 years ago if you were to go back in time?
Man, you know, you put a lot of pressure on yourself, and something our dad told us too, but the pressure can feel unreal, but these were the cards that we were dealt. We were born Von Erichs, we were raised in locker rooms. This is all we know. And we know if we're doing our best, or if we're going out there and trying, as cheesy as it sounds, trying our hardest, that really is, we know we're doing the right thing. And I know my brother has my back, I have his back. We're very close, we've been best friends since kids. And so doing this together, I know what I'm gonna get out of him, and he knows what he's gonna get out of me. So I know if we're trying as hard as we can, and we're doing it for them, if they're watching, you know, we feel like that's how we honor God, and using what he's given us for the best of our ability.
And I would say to us a few years ago, just let it come. You know, be patient, and your destiny is gonna happen. You know, and it's on the way. Like we're still going up in our opinion.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're excited about the future.
Last time I interviewed you guys, you talked about working in Japan and having that kind of experience. Talk about what that was like for you more so, and how you still adapt that into your wrestling stuff.
Japan made us grow up really quick. You know, going over there, the crowd's not as responsive, I guess. You know, and they beat the fundamentals of professional wrestling over there, and it's looked at more like an NFL sport. You know, it's different. The crowd's quiet. You gotta earn their respect in a way. And then us being third generation wrestlers, they were a lot harder on us than most wrestlers, so they're really trying to have us, you know, quit soon.
Which now we're super grateful.
We're so grateful we did that.
We needed it. We needed it beat out of us. Any you know.
There was times though we're like, man, are we made for this? We're like 0-50 right now. You know, like, I don't know if we should continue to do this, but we were on a building top. Any time we go to a venue, we go to the rooftop just to get away, get our heads together. Later we found out that my dad and his brothers, they all did the same thing, but we went to a rooftop, and we were just sitting there thinking about, man, we're doing the right thing. We're out here wrestling our own.
Yeah, no, we don't want to dishonor the family name.
Yeah.
They're big shoes to fill, you know, so our expectations on ourselves are extremely high.
Well, yeah, we were kind of daydreaming, so we marked our name. He got on my shoulders. We marked on our names on this brick wall. Didn't really think much of it. Went out there and wrestled. Came back on the rooftop, wasting time, and on the other side of the wall, on this brick wall, we see
some scribble.
And we looked real close, and it said Kevin David 1982. It was our family, and my real name's Kevin. His real name's David. And right there, that was it. We knew that we were exactly where we were supposed to be, even though at that time we felt like giving up the most. And so we knew.
I feel like right then we're just like, okay, we're gonna stick to this.
Yeah, we're gonna stick to this because we're ready to quit. But he never admitted it. I never admitted it to him. I'm not gonna we're brothers. I'm not gonna admit, hey, I'm gonna quit. You know, I'm not gonna say first. You know, and so yeah, that was confirmation, and that's honestly what's fueled us this whole time. That's why we know that we're here for a reason.
Have you had a chance to talk to any other second or third generation wrestlers for advice or pick their brain on how to handle a similar situation that you guys are in?
Yeah, man, we did something called the Super 8 in Philadelphia with Brian Pillman and a few other guys. Shoot, I'm gonna butcher all the names, but yeah, they're second.
Brian Pillman stuck out big time.
Yeah, he stuck out with the mullet and the fanny pack and all that.
He's the loudest character.
Yeah, but we were over there, and you know, it was crazy talking to guys with all the similar backgrounds as us, you know, and a lot of them, you know, in the beginning didn't want to become wrestlers, and we tried that. We played football. He played in college. I was going to college for track and field. I was a discus thrower. I was in Hawaii, and so that was kind of where our heads were at. But it all started when Uncle Harley Race gave us a call to come try out at his school, and it took then. And then there were some Japanese scouts over there, and they invited us out to Japan for 3 months. But
Well, they had no idea, by the way. They just said, "Hey, you look a little bit like Fritz von Erich."
Yeah, they didn't know we were Von Erich.
Really?
Yeah, and they said, "You're barefoot. You look like Fritz von Erich." And I was like, "Yeah, that's my brother Ross. We're Kevin's sons." And then you're supposed to like earn the. I guess the name did come in handy there, but you're supposed to earn or do this whole camp to get a shot to Japan, and he gave us the shot like the first 3 hours after he met us, and probably give us a little heat with some of the boys, but I think they brought some guys later on. But that's when I realized, okay, this name is we've got to do something with it. We can't.
There's some weight attached to it.
100%.
What's your craziest Harley race story?
I got one. When I was 18 years old, he said, "You think you're strong, boy?" And I was sitting in a car with my arm out the window, and I was like, "I don't want to toot my own horn, but yeah, I'm not weak." And so he's like, "Shake my hand."
He just set the state record in discus right before this.
Yeah, so I was at my the most cocky right there. So he shook my hand, and then I was like, it's kind of awkward and weird, and we're shaking hands for like an awkwardly long amount of time. So I was trying to pull away, and he grabbed my hand and pulled me out of the car. His grip was insane, but pulled me out of the car onto the ground. I don't know what he was going for me to start crying in front of like my girlfriend and stuff. But yeah, as after I tried to play it off the best I could, and I was talking about, man, if he wasn't so old, I would have handled it right there. But yeah, he completely annihilated me in front of everybody. Yeah, and so respected the champ. Respect Harley Race. Rest in peace.
He's a great poker player too. But.
Is he?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. He mentally destroyed him. He just took all his money.
Yeah, his mental warfare got me. He took his money. So.
What other legends have you kind of like related to, or kind of like associated with through your fitness and stuff?
I mean, we've gotten to meet a lot of cool people. I know growing up, we had to sneak at the time WWF VHS, as we were just talking about this, and my mom didn't want us watching it and stuff. My dad didn't really,
And we make up fake names for the labels, like motocross or something.
I'd knock on his door like at 10 o'clock, and we start watching it. We watch pretty much everything. So one night, my dad caught us, and he's like, "You guys like this crap?" And I was like, "Yeah, we love it." And my dad was so done with wrestling, the tragedies, everything. He was
understandably,
it's understandable.
Bad taste in his mouth.
But he saw that we had a love for it, and he's like, I think 3 days later they were coming to Dallas, and he brought us in there. And at that time, I believe Undertaker just hung Bossman on TV, and I believed every bit of it. And so when we walked backstage, my dad was walking us in, and I saw Undertaker, and I was like, I know for a fact that guy just murdered somebody.
We were terrified.
Yeah, we were terrified. Like, my dad felt bad for us though. We were like crying and stuff. It was crazy. But then after that, yeah, we grew to love wrestling. After that, he's not a murderer, Bossman.
It's been an up and down journey. Some weird twists and turns.
Yeah.
Any other favorite Texas wrestling legends aside from your own family, of course?
Oh man.
You mentioned Undertakers. That's
Yeah,
right.
I mean,
Yeah.
Ric Flair is famous everywhere, but he had such a huge role. Obviously the
Steve
Freebird.
Austin.
Steve
Austin.
Austin.
Yeah, he's just a big state. That's one guy that it's the Steve Austin pop. If he's in Texas, you just want to be here just for the pop. And so, yeah, we love Steve Austin too. And he has a lot of history at world class with our family. And Undertaker too. He was. I heard stories that he was going to be almost like a replacement for my Uncle Dave. He's a big, tall, red-headed guy, and they look so similar. And so, yeah, there was times my grandfather was, thinking about that. But that's where he got his start, is in world class.
Yeah, my grandpa gave him his first tryout at WC. I heard him, tell on a podcast, Rogan or something. But he's like, yeah, you look like, it was like probably a couple weeks after my Uncle David passed, and he saw this big, tall, redheaded guy, and he's like, hey, you look like my son. Why don't you bring him? And then he told somebody to bring him in for a tryout, and you know, the rest is history.
So we're responsible for.
I don't mean. You know.
I'm gonna write that up.
So we.
Do you guys have a lot of artifacts or collectibles from the world class era or NWA era?
Yeah, my dad's he's a weird dude, and so he saved like a lot of the wooden seats and stuff. We had a bench at home that we built. You know, my dad's not the craftiest guy. I'm more, I guess, the craftsman of the family, but yeah, we built a little chair out of it and stuff, or a swinging chair. He still has the belt, so that's got a lot of nostalgia. Right now, though, that belt, for the next few years, we actually have it in Dizen Golf Center in Israel. We donate it there for the mall for people to see, because they're Von Erich crazy over there too, from the 80s. But we got like action figures and stuff like that. But there was a old documentary where they go into the sportatorium, and it was really cool. They walked with my dad inside there, and you know, my dad went in. My grandfather's office was still there. It's still the same desk, and yeah, I know it brought back a lot of memories. And I really wish the sportatorium would have been like a Texas landmark, because we would love to go in there and eventually work in there one day. But the dream is Von Erich barbecue, same spot, same location. You barbecue and watch wrestling. I think it's a great idea.
Double whammy right
Yeah,
there.
exactly.
Double
Yeah.
whammy.
We thought.
Yeah, exactly.
And you say no.
That's a goal for you guys. Any other immediate goals going forward, aside from winning more tags and gold, obviously?
No, man, it's, you know, you never know with what my dad and the family has gone through. You know, life is precious, family is precious. So we really, in the beginning of our careers, we were shooting just to get as far as we can, as fast as we can. And now we know that, you know, timing, it's not in our hands. And so as far as we're making the most, we're trying to live in the moment and actually live in the moment. Like right now, I'm not thinking about what's going to happen after this, tomorrow, or the next day. Right now, I'm here with my brother. We're sitting having a nice conversation with you guys. We are literally in the moment. That's what we kind of remind each other to do all the time, because you know that life is a bunch of moments, and you know they pass, they come and go. So just try to make the most of each moment. And you know, I'm here with you guys. This is it right now. This is that's my plans right this second.
How hard was it to develop that kind of mentality over time?
A lot of failures, and I'm kind of an anxiety, stressed out person, and so yeah, I can be, and so like just realized it wasn't healthy for me to like to plan everything out, and it's I could just tell it was weighing on my body, and now I'm a dad, and I want my son to, you know, not when he thinks of his dad, a guy pulling his hair out, and freaking out about the littlest thing. So yeah, kids have helped too. It felt like so much pressure, but in a way that I was like, okay, well, I got to do something about it.
And also in Japan, you know, we had this big stint in Japan, and so at the time we were kind of young, we were going through it, and we're just like, oh, this is stressful. You know, this is you know, we're getting beat up, all this stuff. But then once we left and came back, we had all these great memories. And yeah, that was fun. This was fun. Like, hey, why don't we just go through everything we're about to do with a more
Joyful
positive,
heart.
positive
Yeah.
attitude.
It was so long and grueling at the time, 3 months, and I was we were fresh out of high school. I was in the puppy love stage with my girlfriend. I missed my mom and dad. I was super homesick, all that. But when I came home, I was, you know, after 2 weeks, like, oh man, this kind of sucked. It doesn't suck, but I was like, man, I miss Japan already. But when we came back, we tried to make the most of it, and it felt like a long spread out thing. But when you look back, you only remember bits and
It
pieces.
goes by like that.
Yeah, it went by like that.
I get it.
And so yeah, we just try to think of everything in highlight reels now.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Stranglehold playing in the back.
Yeah, there we go. Right.
Could we see you guys return to Japan at some point?
100%.
Hopefully, yeah. I mean, Japan is always going to have a special place in our heart, you know. So
We just don't know for which company. Pro Wrestling knows. Yeah, we're nothing but grateful for everything they've done for us. They gave us our start, and I'm glad the way they did it. At the time it was hard, but they definitely made us respect wrestling completely, and taking us in with. We were nobodies at the time. We just had the name, and so it was a huge honor, and to see what wrestlers do to get to Japan one day. They worked their butts off, and so I just saw what an honor it was that we got to go so soon, and it really was awesome. And we would definitely go back, either Pro Wrestling or wherever, as long as we're back in Japan. It's good.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Ross, how's it feel being an uncle?
Oh, that's great. Well, I'm actually an uncle like 7 or 8 times over now. I got 2 sisters, but no, this one actually felt a little different. You know, it's cool.
Yeah.
So
My kid like loves him more than me though. He's like,
yeah, I can spoil them. You know, we have good fun.
Yeah.
We're always wrestling around. So
They're always fighting.
It's fun. I want to be the uncle I never had. You know, in a way. You know, so
100%.
try to spoil them as much as I can. You know, do fun stuff.
If our cause both my sisters have a ton of kids, like a boatload of them. So if we ever want to guilt trip the kids, if like not wanting to hang out, because we love hanging out with them, we work out with our nephews. They're getting into high school football constantly, and we'll remind them like, we didn't have uncles growing up, so if you guys want to. Time goes by fast, and try to guilt trip them to come hang out with us. Yeah.
Works every time.
Yeah. If you keep going, then you start getting sad, and it's just a
Yeah.
depressing day.
Yeah.
Where else you want to wrestle with MLW in the States? Any other cities or parts of the country you want to go to with MLW?
We love Texas, but man, San Antonio would be a great place to go to. There's a few places in Texas, and I know the big cities are awesome, but there's a lot of good small country towns out there, especially in Texas. That we did a show in Detroit, Texas. It was I remember read the paper.
Yeah, not Michigan.
Yeah, it was Detroit, Texas, and it was one of the cool. We went and talked to the elementary, the high school, and the middle school all in one night, and the next day we went and wrestled, and every single kid we talked to showed up. It was like a super hot crowd, and that's something that we definitely want to keep doing. We want to do that in the future too, because those little towns, they're neglected. There's not that much entertainment, and if you go out there and promote it well, they will come. And those are they're good Von Erich fans, good Texans. But I'm sure there's good cities like that.
I love your shirt.
Yeah.
Thank you. Been waiting 2 years to wear this.
Yeah, I'm getting distracted during my questions. My dad looks jacked.
I was like, who did the art for this?
Yeah, I
I
know.
know that's
yeah.
not Photoshop. by the
No,
way.
yeah,
he got in great shape. It's crazy.
We didn't believe it, but when we were going to Israel, when he confirmed the match, and I could tell he wanted to do it because he immediately said no, and then we didn't say anything to encourage it, and he just kept, you know what, maybe I'll do it, and he talked himself into it. But then he's like, I remember the day he said, I need to start working out. And it was 2 or 3 months. Every morning I'd go to their house. He's over there doing curls, upside down push-ups, and it's crazy. And he lost a lot of weight, but he came right back.
Man, you're still Kevin Von Erich under
Yeah,
there.
it was crazy seeing him. Yeah, it was nuts.
What's one of your dad's favorite matches going back and watching his stuff?
Well, for us,
For you guys,
yeah,
yeah.
I love all the stuff with Chris Adams. I think they had some good heat. I know that when Chris Adams turned heel, and my dad took a chair in the gut. There's people crying and stuff, and that was for me. That's what impacted me the most. But
And anything with Gino Hernandez.
Gino Hernandez.
Yeah.
Obviously, the Freebirds are great.
yeah, the Freebirds, of course. But yeah, Gino Hernandez too. My dad was just telling us he thought he was one of the best, the heels in professional wrestling, because there was no gimmick or anything. That was him. He would throw like legit tantrums on the ground and bang his hand and feet on the ground. He'd kick a car that didn't work. He said he'd drive in the parking lot and he started crying because his car wouldn't start. He started kicking the tire and threw a tantrum. And then my grandfather knew, he was like, we need this guy's
We gotta get this guy right.
Yeah.
He's made for it.
He was made for it.
Yeah.
We got time for one more.
So based off of like everything you talked about, like going on top of buildings and just taking time for yourself before matches, what else do you like to do to prep for matches? And also too, when you're back home here in Texas, what is it something that you like to eat?
Oh man, there's I think it's called Small
I know.
Town.
I went right to the eating part, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely barbecue sticks out for me.
Yeah, there's a place in Louisville. I think it's called Small Town Small House Barbecue. The name's changed quite a few times, but that's where we would go after Pee Wee football games and stuff. And it's some of the best. The best barbecue that we've ever had. We usually get like 2 pounds of chopped beef, and then we just get some sandwich
What
buns
was
to fill that.
the first part? What you said, sorry?
Oh,
The meaning.
what is something else that you like to do besides sitting on top of the buildings?
Oh yeah. I mean, just now, like no matter what venue we're at, we're always, I don't know, we're always just walking around. Like we have to get out of the place and like almost like circle it or something.
If it's something like this special, you're gonna make it sound like a
No.
religious thing. No. Yeah, sorry, everybody. No, but we'll do a thing called the Stone of Remembrance, and we'll grab if it's something special like this, that we're back in Texas, and last time we not coming to Texas, we're pretty devastated that we had to miss Texas of all places. If it's a special moment, we'll pick up a rock and you write the date on it. If you don't write the date on it, now I have a huge jug of rocks in the beginning of my career when something special would happen.
Well, just a reminder.
Yeah, as a reminder, this is a special time. Save something. If it's like a washer from a screw or something like that, just to look back on this. And yeah, we have a jar full of just weird.
Yeah, like little figurines or like a
Yeah.
little ribbon, just random stuff. But,
Yeah.
But you look at it and it's just like, there's a big jar of victories, that we've experienced and stuff, so.
That's a good idea, though.
It's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird, but we think it's cool.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Right on, you guys. I
Thanks, guys.
appreciate it.
Appreciate the time.
Thank you guys. Thank you all for coming.
Yeah.